garnered high viewership amongst kids, teenagers, and even young adults during its final run, and that was on Disney RAR XD's highest rated show in 2015 slash early 2016, while also setting several records for the network. That's awesome. Like I said, show in the beginning, I can I can definitely see this leaning more towards kids with like a slight thing for like maybe teenagers. Season 2, I'm like, oh, this is for like teenagers slash like young adults. Like, this is funny. This is funny to me.
The fan base for this is so devout. Like, even after the first 2 or 3 episodes, they said they went to a convention and they had what was going to be, at least what they thought was going to be, a small panel. They had only released a couple episodes, and they already had people cosplaying as their characters.
Oh, sick.
Some characters that weren't even like main characters. They said they said they saw somebody that cosplayed as the pizza guy, who's a guy who's just in a clip for like a few seconds, and that's it. And like, it's just crazy to me how this all worked out. And the community for this is so great. And at the end of the series, Hersch wanted to do something special for all of these fans. So he comes up with this elaborate plot, and it's absurd. The things that he does for this show, that you can tell he just puts 100% of himself into it, and he just wants to include everybody that he can in the process of creating this show, or making the show what it is, like having the fans get involved. And there's a couple things that he does. Well, first and foremost, there was a conspiracy theory that a fan came up with where on a Reddit forum, they were like, hey, I think I figured out part of this mystery, but we don't know for sure, but I think this is what it is. And they pinpointed who they thought the creator of the journals were. And it turns out that the theory was right. So Alex goes, fuck, I need to throw him off the trail. So they go through a very meticulous process of coming up with a fake story that will throw everybody off the scent. It's so, like, the theory was about initially was about something to do with Grunkle Stan. I won't say what. So what they ended up doing was they created an elaborate like scene, like they were animating something, and left it up on a desktop on one of their computers, and then took a picture somewhere in the office, like, like a group, like a friend picture or like a selfie or something, and made sure they had this computer screen just slightly off, like to the side, maybe kind of hard to see, so it didn't look intentional. Right. And it was this picture of another character that was totally different from this Grunkle Stan theory. And it was this character that was designed specifically just for this. It was never actually used in the show. Alex himself created a fake Reddit account and then posted this picture on this account, like saying, oh, leaked information or whatever, right? And then he left it up for, I think, he said it was like maybe 2 or 3 days, and then he took the picture down. And by that time, this picture had already circulated in the community, like, oh shit, like, this picture totally gives it away. It's not what we thought. It doesn't have to do with Grunkle Stan at all. It has to do with this other character. That was a fake image that they made specifically for this fake propaganda. Fake news, all right? He created fake news just to circulate Reddit to fucking throw them off the trail. Yep, and it totally worked. And then they release... they actually reveal finally what the real thing is, and basically the entire audience is like, I fucking knew it.
That kind of reminds me of back in this big reveal of a character in Naruto who's like one of the biggest mysteries of the show for the longest time. He's wearing a mask. Mm-hmm. His name is Toby. And I kid you not, immediately when this character was revealed, people are like, it's this character. And they're like, no, it can't be. Nah. And the more and more things that we revealed about this character, it led to more evidence that it was this character that people were theorizing. They're like, he has this eye, his name is like part of, you take away one letter, move around some letters, boom, it's Toby. Mm-hmm. And once again, the main author was like, no, it's not. And then like years later, after all these conspiracy theories and like people making YouTube videos and like fucking dioramas about like how it has to be this character, they finally reveal who he was. And we were like, called it. Like, it wasn't a big surprise because we were like,
Yeah.
we called this like 5 years ago.
If only he had made a fake Reddit account to stir up some fake information, let it circulate and have it taken down.
People think that he genuinely didn't originally plan on it being that particular character. And then, like, I'm talking about, like, you know, I'm being very generic because I don't want to spoil in case people are wanting to watch Naruto or going through Naruto. And people don't think, well, now there's another theory that people don't think he originally planned on it being this character, that he did plan on it being a completely different character, but people were talking about, like, the theory and how, like, it made sense that it was this character that he was like, you know what? Fuck it. I will make it the character. Why not? Because he retconned so much other shit within the Naruto universe as the story went on. So he's like, fuck it. He's this character now. Yep. You guessed it. You know, boom. You know,
happy now? You ruined it.
Right? You know, I had a cool idea, but you know what? Your idea was cooler, so I took it.
He has one last, his coup de grace, right? His finale for the series at the end of the last episode, like at the end of the credits. There is approximately a 3-second real life image. You know who Bill Cipher is?
I've heard the name before.
Okay. It's all about this character, Bill Cipher, and it all comes together.
Oh, Bill Cipher. He's the pyramid.
The little triangle man.
Yeah.
Yes. He's the Freemason symbol, is what he is, like on money and shit. He's the Freemason.
He's the Freemason
logo.
Symbol on acid.
He creates a real life, like, plexiglass 3D model of Bill Cipher, and he hides it somewhere in the real world, right? And it's like painted and sculpted, and they have like seeds and shit glued onto it, so eventually it started growing moss, and his idea is he wanted to make it look really old. And I believe it was in Oregon is what it is. He talked to some random lady who had a really big property and was like, hey, can I hide this somewhere on your property? And she was like, sure. So they plant this really big Bill Cipher thing, like somewhere in the woods, like near the back of this lady's house.
Right.
And he's like, expect like fans to possibly come here eventually. But he says he's going to create basically a worldwide fan treasure hunt.
Oh, like a scavenger hunt or
yes, but he's
geo hunt or whatever those are called.
But he goes all over the world to do this, and he physically goes to all of these places, and he starts in Russia. He goes to a cathedral in Russia and talks to, you know, some of the guys at this cathedral and makes sure that it's okay if he does this. And he hides like somewhere a little clue of Gravity Falls, like involving like magnets and like a little secret like hidey hole somewhere that'll have like a little scroll that maybe the scroll has like a cipher now.
Right.
So some fan finds this, and this cipher, the fan base online figures out what this cipher means, and it points them to a temple in Japan. So then they have someone go to Japan and go find this temple, and yet again there's another clue that leads them somewhere else.
Okay.
And then when they get this thing in Japan, I mean, it's all like scrolls and tubes and hidden papers and you know, have you ever seen the magic trick with like the really thick screw that actually, like, you can unscrew the top of the screw? Like the screw head. Have you ever seen that?
I don't think so. It's
like
not ringing a bell.
It's like a really thick bolt, like that you would see on like a telephone pole or something. But you could actually unscrew it and take it apart, and inside is a little compartment for like a little scroll or some magnets or something.
Okay.
So he would like do some really elaborate shit of hiding this stuff all over the world. Eventually, it came down to this finale where somebody would like find this Bill Cipher character. And it would lead them to like a treasure chest that had a bunch of coins, and like the treasure chest would have had like a music box in it that played the Gravity Falls theme song. But this is all stuff that went over the course of like months of time for fans to figure out because of how involved it was and how all over the world it was. It was really awesome because he had this whole thing planned out from the beginning. Like he's like, hey, I just want a picture of this Bill Cipher thing just for like 3 seconds at the end of the last episode to give the fans something just a little more, just something a little extra. And something that ended up happening was that message, basically a message in a bowl. Some fan, like, they caught it on video, he just goes, "What is this?" And he just whips it into the woods. Like, he didn't realize that it was actually the clue. He just was like trash, and just like, well, he was in the right area looking for something, and he didn't know what he was looking for. And he just whips the thing in the trees, and he sees this and goes, "Oh, they're never gonna finish it." So they devise another way to insert like 2 or 3 more clues into the world that would now be able to, give some conclusion. And what it ended up being, or one of them that they did, which was really fucking funny, was like a 2,000 piece jigsaw puzzle that was
Christ,
that was almost all yellow, and at the end of it was another cipher. So, but they created a digital app for this also on online, so people online could try to solve this puzzle. That's what led people to this last like treasure chest. And what was really cool is that it was filled with like a bunch of little plastic coins that had some like logos and stuff on it, and there was a message, and there was like, "Hey, I'm so glad that you found this treasure chest. Thank you for taking the time to be a part of this thing with us. Feel free to take a coin. Please leave the box along with other coins, so other people would be able to take one when they come and find it too."
I would be fucking pissed at him if he's like, "Hey, you want to solve this mystery? Solve this puzzle."
Yeah,
you son of a bitch.
Yes, right. Just fucking crazy. Just the amount of dedication he has to his fans and the ongoing mystery of this show. But it's so beautiful. I love everything about this show is so good.
People that put that much effort into something they love because they know it's going to engage the fans and it's going to just get them, it's going to make them happy. That's amazing. I love that. And yeah, Alex has made a show with a lot of really fun and interesting characters.
What's up, gamers? Birds and Swords here. I'm Micah.
And I'm Alyssa. As part of the Barn Media Group, we bring you anything and everything from the world of video games.
Are we experts?
No.
But do we play a lot of video games?
Hell yeah, we do.
So come check out our gaming podcast, Birds and Swords, for insight, opinions, top lists, and all the fun that comes with talking about games.
Come laugh with us. Or at us.
So bring your bird and your sword.
Because it's Birds and Swords.
Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 25,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you could talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/thebarn. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/thebarn.
We're going to talk about some of those characters, including the Pines twins. We got Dipper Pines, voiced by Jason Ritter. Dipper is a curious and intelligent 12-year-old boy who serves as the show's protagonist. He is determined to unravel the mysteries of Gravity Falls and often finds himself in dangerous and thrilling adventures. Dipper is known for his resourcefulness, bravery, and his signature pine tree hat. So first and foremost, I will say this, one thing that turned me off from the show kind of in the beginning was Dipper's voice. I thought Dipper sounded way too old to be a 12-year-old, especially when you have flashbacks to some other characters as kids and their voices were so like high pitched, like, and they were supposed to be the same age. Like they're the same. They're the same age. It was just weird, but like over time, I got used to it. But the voice actors for Mabel Pines is voiced by Kristen Shaw. She is a very well-known voice actress. I'm trying to remember some other characters off the top of my head, but she does Louise in Bob's Burgers.
Yep.
She has a very memorable or like noticeable voice, but I think her voice fit Mabel incredibly well.
Yes.
Mabel Pines, Dipper's energetic and quirky twin sister, provides the show with its lightheartedness and humor. She has a vivacious and creative personality, always seeking joy and fun in everything she does. Mabel's known for her love of her sweaters, her pet pig, Waddles, fan favorite, and her unyielding optimism. I love Waddles.
Mhm.
Like, Waddles is amazing.
Who doesn't?
Waddles the pet pig. He always has like the best like reactions and responses when she's like, Waddles! And
Yep.
looks over. And then we got Grunkle Stan, who's actually voiced by Alex Hersch, is the owner of the Mystery Shack, which is a tourist trap where he schemes people out of money. It's great. Grunkle Stan is the paternal great uncle of Dipper and Mabel. Stan is a cunning and gruff character who frequently runs questionable schemes to make money. Despite his rough exterior, Stan cares deeply for his family and is often more complex than he initially appears. Now, yeah, at first, Grunkle Stan was just like, whatever I can do to get money or trick people out of anything and get my way.
Mhm.
But like as the show's gone on, he becomes, you start liking the character and relating to the character a lot more as he opens up about his past
Mhm.
and, the stuff he's been through. Like, it's intense, especially in season 2. When you find out more about his backstory, it's really good.
So Grunkle Stan,
What is a great uncle, by the way?
a great uncle? It's
Yeah.
like your. Oh, well, let's see. If it's your great, does that mean it's your dad's brother?
A great uncle, an uncle of one's mother or father. Where I'm at, we don't know. We never met
Yeah, so
Dipper
it's
and Mabel's.
it's like his dad's brother.
Yeah, his dad's brother. Okay, yeah. Wow, like, yeah, he's old, but like he's not that old, I would feel like. So like their
No.
family must be like young.
Well, so what's great is every character is based off of somebody that that Alex Hersch actually knows in his life, and this is based off of his grandpa Stan. And
Okay.
he said his grandpa Stan would always do the kind of shit to like trick people, like, hey, you like these spoons? Hey, these spoons are real silver. They've been handed down for family generations, and these are worth a bunch of money. And you'd hear he said he'd hear like his grandmother in the kitchen be like, don't believe him, they're just spoons he took from the drawer. like he was just doing just random shit like that he thought was funny, but he would always try to like tease or fool the kids in some way. So he was based off of that real person.
That's awesome. What are some